Hello, hello, Cancerians. All right, so first off, Cancerians, I am very sorry I have not been around in quite a while, a whole week really, that I have endured all kinds of problems, tons of internet connection issues. That's primarily why I wasn't around. Then I'm moving and then I've been unwell. So you put it all together and it's been a mess. And it's going to stay messy for another week and a half, probably. I will still be trying to get some videos out, but it'll be kind of funky upload schedules on stuff. So bear with me. I have not forgotten you. It's just going to still be a bumpy road for a little bit. Okay. So you'll probably see that I will be putting out some videos that were pre-recorded when I had good internet. And anyway, it's up and down. So just so you know, that's what's going on behind the scenes, but it will get back to normal. Okay. We are starting out with the devil. And the devil can talk about passion, but in this card, all right, so it's Capricorn energy, right? But in this card, what we actually have is somebody who's feeling pretty darn foolish, sitting here on the edge of, I always want to call this the egg timer, but it's an hourglass. Somebody feels like they should have taken a leap of faith before, but they didn't. And the fool is sitting here, like covering their face, like, I can't believe I did this. And that sense of remorse is further keeping them a little entrapped. It's not a great way to begin on a storyline, right? But then when we couple it with this King of Swords in the reverse, we've got somebody who's being silent. We've got somebody who is not able to find their voice. Maybe, hold on, I'm about to cough. Sorry, guys, my asthma is still really bad right now. If this is part of, like, they're embarrassed that they've waited too long to like make some changes and they don't want to discuss that, even now that they could stop having these obstacles, but now it's like embarrassment is keeping them stuck as their new obstacle, because the Seven of Wands in the reverse says they actually don't have realistic obstacles, but these two cards say that they're still stuck. So it's almost like somebody who is stuck because of past mistakes that they made that they don't want to own up to, or they're struggling to own up to, feeling bad about themselves, feeling guilt or remorse about things. So let's go ahead and let's keep going with this. Let's see. I like the fact that we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Things are getting better. Things are getting brighter for this person. But actually, let's start out with that King of Swords. What is it that's keeping this king from speaking up? Nine of Swords, a lot of stress. So, and that's, it is hard when anyone feels like they have made mistakes. It's really hard to admit, like, I can't believe I did that. I feel so foolish for that. And so it's the stress of how will that be received when I make that announcement? Like, I know I messed this one up. Whatever this is about, let's see if we can. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. What's the devil card about? Sorry, we got two cards here. We got 10 of Wands in the reverse, and we got the 5 of Cups in the reverse. I gotta say, to me, this looks like somebody actually thought that they weren't going to regret a choice that they made, only to discover later, I have big regrets. 5 of Cups in the reverse with the 10 of Wands in the reverse. They kind of thought that, oh, well, it's just a situation that's kind of like, it's going to be over because I've got these other things that are keeping me stuck someplace else. So I just need to let this go and it won't be a big deal. But I think that that's not what happened. I think that someone who thought that they could not be troubled by what seems to be a missed opportunity to me. Maybe this was a situation where, someone didn't ever have like a lot of remorse for the things that they did. Sometimes people just behave however they want to. They do what they want to do. And they feel like, I don't owe anybody explanations or apologies. It's my life. I can live it however I want. But that, because the devil is in the upright, that was a pretty sassy attitude. And I feel like this person, that attitude cost them. And they're realizing now, geez, that cost me a lot. That cost me a ton, in fact. Let's see. We've got the 2 of Coins in the upright also. So I got to say, this person was possibly always like trying to make sure that they got the best out of everything without maybe thinking about others' feelings. Or this was a situation where they were still trying to get away with whatever they were doing. Say this, because this can be a card of addictions and a card of also like lack of true confidence in oneself, also like negative self-talk. But it's as if if this person had like some kind of an addiction, it was like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's my business. I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. It's nobody else's business. And this could be something like they needed to stop doing something. Maybe they were a partier and they needed to stop partying long enough to be able to get that amazing job. They needed to be clean for some transportation job or something. And they thought maybe they could still get the job even if they didn't play ball. And it's like, no, you had to play ball in order to be able to get that particular job. So they might have lost out on an opportunity here, but they were kind of full of themselves, like, oh, whatevs, I don't need to worry about that. Well, they kind of did. And now it's like they're really stressed out because they're going, I really did mess that up. That was me who did that. It was in my grasp that I could have had this amazing thing. All I had to do was step up to the plate and be really upfront and honest. This could have also been someone who chose to not tell a whole truth, thinking that they could just kind of omit half of a storyline and say, well, I didn't exactly lie, but they didn't exactly tell the truth either. Well, that kind of came back and bit them in the sense that now their character has been questioned. And I think that this is really hard for this person to go back now and say, I didn't tell you the whole truth. I didn't exactly lie, but I didn't say the whole truth. They're really stressed out about this, even though this is a perfect time for them to actually explain it. They're embarrassed about it. That's what it looks like. And hey, you know what? People make mistakes in life. People, act like something isn't going to be a big deal only to find out later on. I knew that wasn't right, that I did it that way, but I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. And now I realize that was my shadow side talking, the side of me that I should have just stepped up and said the whole truth and not had any like thing that I just thought I could kind of like juggle it and make it all work to my advantage. Whatever this was, I don't know if this was in relationship or if this was in business, but something here that they were dealing with the Queen of Swords. They were dealing with somebody who is really straightforward, someone who they needed to be fully transparent with. And again, this could have been something very small, or this could have been something much larger, but it seems like it was a conversation where they needed to be really truthful with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords can hear what isn't said. The Queen of Swords hears what someone says, and then they also hear the gaps in the story. So this queen already knows that they left some... My dog doesn't like that either. Aries, settle, my love. Settle. Hush. Hush, baby. She already knows that they didn't tell the whole story. And that's probably why this is now an embarrassment, because also this is, a king and a queen of swords. This is somebody where they were on par with this person, but they didn't admit to something that, again, it could have been like a behavior. It could have been like, whatever. Somebody is trying to quit indulging in maybe they're trying to quit drinking too much or quit smoking too much or whatever it is. And they only told half the truth to their partner or their sponsor or somebody. And it's like, look, you don't want to lie to me, because those lies, all it does is it lets me know now that you're not super trustworthy. And that's not going to help you get on your path. This may not be anything other than because this person's embarrassed about it, right? They're the ones that are stressed out about this, but it might have been a situation where, look, the only person they're hurting is them. It's not like this huge betrayal. We don't have cards of betrayal and heartbreak for this queen. We just simply have someone who is probably not going to want to fail to be totally transparent, because it's not going to help them in the long run. They're the only ones that they are kind of messing things up with, is themselves. So now they got to deal with a little bit of that shame. But you know what? Shame is a great, powerful tool for all characters, because it's a thing that lets us know I'm not going to behave that way again because I feel a bit embarrassed of myself. And that is our conscience speaking. And that's how we make significant changes in our lives. That's how we get out of that shadow side. So I don't look at this as bad at all. If anything, this was maybe the last time this person will have to learn that really important lesson where they have to feel embarrassed of themselves and stressed out. So now let's talk about that good card, that Seven of Wands in the reverse. That is like the way forward. We have a Knight of Wands and we have a Seven of Coins. I got to say, this person's having a real change of heart. This person is realizing that it's true. The only thing that was blocking me was maybe my own attitude. blocking my ability to get my life back on track, not being super honest. Heck, this could be like I was working with my personal trainer or, my physical therapist, and they said, "Did you do those exercises so that, we can help you strengthen?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, I did it." And they didn't, it could be something along those lines, but this is an opportunity for them to say, "Hey, I got to be fully transparent. This is really hard for me to say because I wasn't being honest and I'm so stressed out about how you're going to react." Well, it turns out the reaction isn't anything terrible. In fact, the reaction is, well, it's a slow process. It takes time to make good habits a standard behavior. It takes time for somebody to really commit to whatever it is, their health goals or their physical therapy appointments or their decisions to actually step by step really improve their life if they're trying to kick an addiction or whatever. It doesn't have to be filled with shame and guilt. It has to be filled with like, all right, well, get back on track and recommit yourself and get excited that this is your journey where you get to like your life is going to keep getting better for these positive choices that you're going to make. So it's like, it's really cool because whoever they're talking to about this, whoever they actually lied to, this person is, and I don't even know that I should say lied to, but they didn't do what they said they were going to, and they thought they could kind of get away with it, and they can't. They have to come clean about it, and that's stressing them out. But all it does is it allows, it's an interesting reaction that somebody goes, "Oh yeah, that takes time to, step by step, it'll get better. Step by step, we'll build trust again. Step by step, you'll get more in a routine." It's amazing because it kind of fills this person's heart up with like, "Oh my God, I cannot even believe that like I've been graced with basically a chance to go ahead and recommit." Now, this Knight of Wands is a little bit in and out of energy though. So this is rushing in, rushing out. So hold on, because that rushing in and out kind of energy could have another edge to it. I look at it as excitement right now, but let me double check. Oh, we've got a Six of Wands in the reverse. I gotta say, I feel like although this person might be really thrilled that they are basically given the grace to be allowed to keep working on things, redeem themselves, make a commitment and make progress, I still feel as if they are, there's still a struggle for this person, like a self-worth issue. They're still, like kind of like tugging at, okay, I really want to do well in this, but I'm still feeling like I'm a little behind schedule, or like, I feel like their energy is scattered. Let me just put it that way. Whatever this commitment is, it's a big one for them, obviously, because the devil is here knocking at the door. So it could be like I say, if somebody's trying to, I'm just going to use quit smoking as an example, because that's so hard to do, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm totally committed to this. I'm so glad my partner's not upset with me. I'm so glad they're just like, "Hey, babe, it's one day at a time," right? And they're like, "Yes, and I'm going to totally do this. I feel so good about this." And then it's like, "Oh my gosh, but this is still really hard. And there are days when I'm still struggling." I just feel like this is kind of the acknowledgement that this person maybe needs some more support in whatever this journey is for them. We got a 9 of coins in the reverse, and we got the 10 of coins in the upright. They really want to get to this full on, like, I've arrived, I've done it, I've achieved this, but they are still struggling with the ebb and flow of confidence. Some days they feel like they got this. Other days or even hour to hour, they're feeling like, "I just don't know that I can do this. I'm not sure I'm strong enough, but I really, really want this." So we're telling a story right now of a character who is on a very difficult journey to overcome something. Whatever that toxic behavior was, they are on a journey to better themselves. I mean, heck, for me, this could be like a weight loss journey. Like it is always a struggle for me to, stay healthy and to, work on, physical activity and healthy eating. And then I eat bad food again because it's so delicious and I love it. And then it's like, okay, well, it's day by day, it's hour by hour. Sometimes it's like, okay, I didn't make the greatest choice there, but I'm just going to go ahead and make better choices from here on out, and it's like, it's a lifestyle because it has to be, I have to be conscious of it, but it's like, that I'm just giving that as an example, as something different that I can identify with in a personal way, because I think that's an easy thing to identify with. We have diabetes, it runs in my family, so I have to be more careful, and that's always been a thing that I have to be conscientious of. So that's an example of something that it makes sense how somebody could have like swinging, like sometimes they feel like, yeah, I'm totally on track, I'm loving this healthy eating, and then it's like, ah, man, this is really hard. And then we go right back to, but it's worth doing it. It's worth staying on target. With that 10 of Pentacles, there's also the evidence of support there. 10 of Pentacles is two people that come in and each give their, oh, this is so nice. Each give their 5, right? So this could be like a really supportive partner who's like, babe, don't worry. It's just going to be day by day. And, or this could be like them working with their sponsor. Hey, it's day by day. And that's why you have a support group around you. That's why you have a team around you. That's why you have us, and we're here, or I'm here for you with this 3 of coins. This is really cool. This could be a workout buddy. This could be someone who, is there to support us, keep us accountable. Whatever this is, we have cooperation. Instead of condemnation with this Queen of Swords, we have cooperation. We have somebody that is totally like, they're not letting the person like punish themselves. They're not punishing the person, but they're also not letting the person just be like, oh, whatever, this is just too hard. They're like, no, you can totally do this. It's just one step at a time. And when things don't go smooth, don't throw in the towel, just start over again. And don't think of it as like a Herculean task you can never accomplish, because we're kind of like, we're just in this together. This is just life. This is just one step at a time through life. And you're not alone on this. So really cool energy on this, because it's so supportive without being like enabling or draining. It's not like that queen is like giving her whole soul to something and not living her own life too. But it's just this kind of nice story of like balance and accountability, but with support instead of condemnation. And I think that's really cool. I want to get one card on that queen, just because we've talked so much about the other person, but nothing about the queen. World card in the reverse. They know that certain things have to happen before there can be like this brand new fresh start. This could be like a couple who is not necessarily like together right now, because the other half of the couple is going through some kind of, like improvement program or working on themselves. But this is a supportive partner nonetheless, but they're also not pretending like everything is just peachy keen, when it's like, no, there's some things that need to change, so then we can start a new cycle. So until then, it's just all about being honest about that. So they're not like pretending anything for themselves or for this person. Judgment card and the moon in the reverse. This queen is pretty blunt, which a Queen of Swords is. Good boundaries for themselves. And they are able to say, well, we're not actually going to have a full reconciliation here until we have everything out on the table and behavior has changed, and you're, like you have a program that works for you, or whatever this is. Like, we're not ready to have this big old reconciliation until, why take on the stress of trying to make a relationship work when there was another bigger issue that needed to be dealt with first, which in this case was whatever that devil card was. So this person is both loving, understanding, compassionate, but they have decent boundaries up too. And they're not making promises that maybe can't be kept, because it's like, hey, we'll talk about that reconciliation once things are like really clear and we have kind of like a rhythm that works, and maybe someone feels more stable. I feel like this queen is super just really straightforward about stuff in a really kind way, without putting pressure on anything. It's just like, hey, this isn't possible right now. So we're not going to push it. We're not going to put deadlines on stuff. Let's just one step at a time allow things to keep that 7 of Pentacles card that we saw. It's like one step at a time. Work will be put in and the situation will start to change. And then we'll address the idea of, are we fully back together again, or are we not? This just feels like a story of patience and understanding that human beings have flaws, and people are great people who still have problems that crop up sometimes, and it's got to be worked on rather than pretend it's not there. And so this is kind of a story of that ability to give someone the space to work on their things that they need to work on without putting all the pressure on. But I want this relationship, and you need to get well for me now, and this has to be my way. Kind of a cool attitude on that queen's part. All right. As always, guys, these are fictional stories. I'm not a psychic. I can't tell you anything real in your life. I don't pretend to. I do not have that gift. Instead, what I am is a storyteller. So bear that in mind. If you're watching my channel right now, it's very different than most channels. So have fun when you're here. Just remember, it's for, food for thought, for entertainment, but that's it. Thank you guys for liking this video. That helps my channel to grow. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And thanks for your patience during this time when I have so much going on in my personal life. But I will be back in a more normal schedule by the kind of like in the first week of June. So kind of like end of the first week of June. Mwah, mwah. Bye, guys.